Well, hello everyone, welcome back to the cabin. In our last Outpost video, I did some dirt work because I couldn't find anybody to come up here and do it, pay them to do it for me. So I tried my hand at it, and we've had a lot of rain since then, so let's go out and take a look at it. You can see I've got one low spot right here, but the rest of it looks like it drained really well. So what I've got in mind doing is I'm going to take a little bit of dirt, which is kind of high right here. I'm going to pull it over in that area and kind of fill up. That looks like it's about 2 inches right there. It's still lower than the foundation, but I'm going to put about 2 inches in there. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and drive some stakes up about 3 inches high here and there, kind of like a grid pattern. That way when I bring the topsoil up here, I'll start from on the back side and work my way this side, but I can kind of rake it to where it comes to the top of those pins. That way I know I've got it all at the same level, and it will all maintain the same slope that it does even when I put topsoil on it, so it will still drain. But I think I did a really good job. I only had that one area that pooled up. This one right here in front of me had a little bit, and I'll probably put a little bit right there, but the rest of it, I actually watched it when it was raining. It was draining that way and went right straight out and off the bank. So I think once I get my dirt in here that I'm okay to go ahead and sow some grass. I believe I can get it in there before fall and actually get grass growing, because one thing about it is when I let the dogs out, they want to go in this direction, and if it's rained, then I've got dirty feet that I've got to deal with, and I've actually got to wipe them off before they can go back in the cabin. So, but that was my first time, actually, I guess you could say, trying at doing some landscaping with the tractor. Didn't do a bad job. With a smaller tractor, I probably could have done better, because it's just hard to, especially in that new cab, when you're don't have all the visual effect on the outside with not having a cab, because all the tractors that I've owned before were cabless. It's kind of difficult to see inside of a cab. So, but anyway, it didn't turn out bad. I'm satisfied with it. We'll get the topsoil, get some grass planted, and be on our way. This side of the cabin right here was never even planted with grass, but yet it grew. It's just by cutting it, trimming it, the grass clippings causing new grass to grow. But you know, it's kind of nice not to have a lot of dirt around here, because it's mainly looked like a construction site for years. So it's time to get some landscaping done in here. So now that we've got the metal put on, I can focus on doing other things. I had to brake in order to move this pile of dirt to build that third section, because it would kind of be in the way of this corner post that I'm going to be putting in on the front side. So I decided to go ahead and move that, but I had to do that landscaping first, because I didn't want to have to move this pile again. So I wanted to be able to move it one time and get it where it needs to go. So still got that to do, but I think what I'm going to go ahead and do before I start this third section is build a wall on the far end down there of the tractor portion. That way I can kind of close that end off a little bit and allow myself places to start hanging tools. I'll take you down here and show you what I'm talking about. As I was building this, I kind of had two thoughts. I thought of leaving that open, or just closing this one section, leaving the front and the rear open. Primarily the rear needs to be open for any implements that I may have on the tractor, because this new tractor is so big, it takes a little bit more than 18 feet to cover it. When you include the front attachment with the bucket on the front, and then you include the rear attachment, kind of like that boom that I had mounted before I started the grade work, had to take it off. It sticks out about 4 feet beyond the overhang on the back side there. But anyway, that will still allow air to flow through here and kind of keep things dry, but yet it will also allow me, if I had a wall built here just between these two posts, kind of like I did this workshop area, what I could do is have a place where I could hang tools and maybe mount some shelving over there to put things. So I think that that's what I may do before I start on anything else, and that's something that I can do in inclement weather, because I am under roof. So that's something that I will start, and probably what I'll do is, once I get that going, on nice days, I'm talking about on this side of the tractor, this wall, I can work on the siding there. I can also work on this from the inside as well as from the outside, and I can also, as long as it's not raining, I could work on the back, because if it was raining it would probably run down my back, right, because I've only got a 2-foot overhang. But anyway, that will allow me to be able to do some work in inclement weather, and then the rest of it could be done, like I said, starting at third section out there, because I've got 7 posts, if I remember correctly, that I'm going to have to dig and set over there in order to be able to start that section. Plus I've got the pad that's going to house the sawmill. So it's going to have to be about 4 feet wide, and it's going to have to be fairly deep, because the big logs, you don't want to drop a log on there and move your footer and cause your sawmill to be out of balance or out of level. So yeah, that's going to have to be done really good. So I have those projects right there that are coming up that I'm going to have to spend a little bit more time on than normal and work on that. But anyway, it's all coming together. I don't know that I'll get it done by winter time. I'm really pushing for that, because I would like to start tearing down this sawmill, because we have decided to utilize that area better and build a gazebo up there with a nice rock fire pit, just a place where we can sit out and relax, and just have a place to hang out if we want to. That will make it really nice, especially if I have company come up here. I've also got some debris over here that I'm going to have to move before I can start this section, and maybe do a little bit of dirt work. That corner post is going to go right about here, and I didn't want to have to try to work around this dirt pile, especially after this was built, to try to move it. So the best thing to do is go ahead and move it now. That way I don't have to get in here and try to do that. I can go ahead and dig these holes, set them in there, because this next section is going to be 24 feet long instead of 12 like the workshop. It's not going to be 2-story, this will be a single story, but it will be as high as the tractor portion over there to be able to house the sawmill and be able to have enough room to get in here, have my boom lifted up if I need to, and not have to worry about hitting anything. And then on the back side of it, I'll have a place that'll be tall enough where I can stack my lumber vertically. That way I don't have to build any shelving or anything for it. So it has to be a little bit of preparation done down here, but we are moving on with it, and it won't be long. This thing will be done, and I can get everything moved in down here, tools and all, get the sawmill moved down here, and have a lot better and more efficient area to be able to do what I need to do. Another thing that we're going to have to do at some point, I noticed the other day that this post on this side right here is starting to deteriorate right at the very bottom. Now, that post, I'm not sure if I didn't get it burnt enough to be able to withstand a lot of the water and so forth, but I think what I'm going to have to do is take the rounded portion of the bridge off and reset another post in here, and while I'm doing it I might as well go ahead and set 2 of them, or I may go ahead and kind of redesign that bridge a little bit and maybe make it longer, maybe make it turn and come out to here. But at any rate, I did see that. Now it's not at the point where it's broken off or anything, but I did notice that the outside of it was just a little bit spongy right there above ground, so that's something that I'm going to have to address before too long. But anyway, whenever you have a house or a building, you have to maintain it, and this is no different. Or it will, at some point, it will deteriorate and it will be gone. So with all the buildings that I've got up here, I have to watch out for them and maintain them to keep them up and in good working order. Well, as most of you know, we're off the grid up here, so we will be getting solar soon. And I didn't want to rely totally on the solar, so I decided to go with a gas stove, a gas refrigerator or propane refrigerator, and a propane on-demand hot water heater, and reserve the solar for other needs that the cabin may have. But I'll be heading out to pick that up, so you'll be seeing that in some upcoming videos, as well as we're purchasing a second Predator generator. Yes, I'll tell you what, Harbor Freight has some really good deals sometimes. especially that Predator generator. I've had some comments on the last video that I mentioned that on, that these people actually have one and say it works wonderful. So, you know, we want to be able to share those experiences with you all anytime we land on something that works really well. I'm talking about experiences. I mentioned also in the last video about companies wanting to sponsor videos for us to do some sort of a review. Now, if it's an item that we currently have something similar to that we could review it and compare it, we will do that. But more or less what we want to do is share our experiences with you all on new items, items that maybe work better than other things, or maybe it's a brand new item that comes out that we've never seen before, and the company sends us one, we use it and we like it. You know, just like you know, your grandma might tell your mother, hey, they got on sale a 5-gallon jar of pickles for 99 cents down at so-and-so place. You know, that's worth sharing. So that's what we want to do, is we want to share with you all when we run into something that we really like. And certainly we're not going to just ask companies for stuff to send it to us for free just so that we can have it, because for me that would be a waste of time. If I don't need it, then I don't need to waste my time talking about it. But we want to be able to share with you all. That's kind of the reason that we do the giveaways, so that we give back to you guys for helping to support the channel. But it also might help you, just like this new generator right here. If you've got to use to have a backup for your power needs or anything like that, or to take it camping, or if you live in an off-grid situation, I'll tell you what, that Predator generator is worth taking a look at based on my experience. So anyway, friends, thanks for watching. We certainly do appreciate it, and we look forward to seeing you back up here at the cabin again next time.